What's up, y'all? Wild Dog here, and today we are going to be reacting to the NFL's biggest fights. Alright, so I love football, it's my favorite sport, so yeah, we about to watch that, boys. Let's get right into it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and yeah, let's get into it.
Blood boils in the game of football. That's just the way it is. Sometimes things get out of hand, and fans are given absolute treats of insanity and violence. Here's the top 10 craziest fights in NFL history. Myles Garrett versus Mason Rudolph. Arguably the craziest moment in football history. Late in the game,
y'all want to win. I'm going for Mason Rudolph.
on Thursday night between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Myles Garrett hit quarterback Mason Rudolph. Rudolph took exception to the hit and grabbed Myles' face mask. The two scuffled on the ground and fought back up to their feet when Garrett yanked Rudolph's helmet off. Mason refused to back down, regardless of the two people between them. Then the legit craziest thing ever happened. Garrett used Rudolph's own helmet and bashed him in the head.
Yep. Well, my prediction was wrong. Mason Rudolph just got bodied by his own freaking helmet. So there you have it, folks. Sorry, my camera fell over. Alright, let's get right back into it.
Head with it. There wasn't a jaw left undropped. Everyone stood frozen in shock, except the world's greatest best friend, Marquise Pouncey. Pouncey, just like the name, pounced on Garrett. He attacked with vicious rights and kicked him in the head. The NFL's malice in the palace was worth the price of admission. Both benches cleared, and it took several minutes to settle it down. The helmet smash was heinous and could have severely injured Rudolph or any other player. The NFL did not take it lightly, suspending Myles Garrett for the remainder of the season. Pouncey, our NFL Homeboy of the Year, was suspended 3 games for the action, and we'll never forget this one. I can promise you that. Odell Beckham Jr. versus Josh Norman. Speaking of two guys who just don't like each other, the beef of Odell Beckham Jr. and Josh Norman is one of our favorites. Part of what made Josh Norman great was a huge chip on his shoulder, and for that same reason, he hated OBJ and his princess upbringing as a first-round pick. Norman and other Panthers ran around pre-game with a bat, swinging it around and trying to intimidate the Giants. This pissed off Beckham and set the tone for the rest of the game. Regardless of the integrity of the game, what happened next was awesome. Every play, it seemed like the cameras were cutting from the play to focus on the real action. Norman and OBJ getting into it. Every run was a chance to watch these guys go to war. Emotions continued to rise, as did the drama in the game. One time Norman would get the better. The next time OBJ would handle Norman to the ground. They traded blows. On 4th and 2, Beckham caught a pass for a first down. Norman slung him to the ground and sprawled on him. As he got up, Beckham tried to trip him, earning the first of 6 personal fouls called upon them. In the third quarter, Odell went on a headhunt for Norman, not once, but twice in a play, rocking him with a bad cheap shot. Norman had officially thrown Odell off of his game, living in his head. The next round, Norman blasted Odell. However, it began to look like OBJ and the Giants were gaining their composure. They fought back from 28 points down. On 4th and 5, game on the line, Odell got the last laugh. He beat Norman in coverage, scored the game-tying touchdown, and did his best AI step-over impression over Norman. The two still hate each other, and this was just the start of an...
I just said the wrong person. No, I'm just kidding. OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. Yeah, I said the right person. Okay, good.
Awesome rivalry. AJ Green versus Jalen Ramsey. Talk about two complete opposites.
to get my brain resettled. Let's get right back into it.
A.J. Green is the reserved silent killer at receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals. Jalen Ramsey is one of the game's best trash talkers and a lockdown corner for Saxonville at the time. It didn't take long for Ramsey's words to get under the skin of the...
That's how you get beat the crap out of. Don't be a trash talker. That's gonna be our lesson of the day. Do not be a trash talker. Okay, let's get right back into it.
Mild-mannered receiver. Every play, he was pushing Green and calling him soft. Green just couldn't get going, getting physically shut down, and mentally, it looked like Ramsey was all in his head. Green started yapping back, calling him weak after he caught a ball that quarterback Andy Dalton pushed too far outside. With only one catch in the first half, Ramsey continued to talk and push. However, it was one push too many as he shoved A.J. Green and walked off. A.J. came up behind Jalen and put him in a rear naked choke, choking him to the ground. As soon as he hit the ground, Green rocked Ramsey with multiple rights and slammed him back down as he got up. It's one of the most surprising moments from Green, who just lost his cool. A.J. Green continued to hammer Ramsey until the two teams intervened. Both were ejected from the game. Cortland Finnegan versus Andre Johnson. You know, corners and receivers really don't like each other, do they? Speaking of silent assassins, Andre Johnson was one of the league's strongest and most physical receivers. Cortland Finnegan was the league loudmouth. Round 1, fight. After 2+ plays of physical blocking, Finnegan's helmet flung off. To get revenge, the very next play, Cortland made it his mission to get after Johnson. Andre turned him around and snatched his helmet off his head, and we're off. As he was hitting Finnegan, Finnegan got a tug of Johnson's face mask and ripped his helmet off, launching it 20 feet away. Big mistake, buddy. Andre Johnson spun him down and began wailing on him. Overhand right after overhand right after overhand right. The two ended up getting separated, but sheesh. Winner and new middleweight champion of the world, Andre Johnson. Cortland Finnegan learned a valuable lesson that day. Aqib Talib versus Michael Crabtree. These guys hated each other. It all started with a chain. Michael Crabtree was known for wearing a chain in every game. That, for some reason, Aqib Talib just didn't like. In 2016, Talib decided to do something about it. He snatched the chain right off Crabtree's neck. On the sidelines, Talib was joking about it, reenacting the action. Crabtree didn't respond on that day. He took the high road, but he did say he didn't like Talib. In the next meeting, he taped the chain. Talib was trying to make a point. Crabtree came in with a plan, and it only took the first drive to put it in motion. As Crabtree blocked Talib, Aqib took the liberty of removing the chain from Crabtree once more. This time, Crabtree didn't hold back. He viciously blocked Talib into oblivion, shoveling him into the dirt along the sidelines. He knocked over other players, chain gang, and equipment guys in his wake. The gloves were off, and a chain too. Talib ripped Crabtree's helmet off of him before heaving it right back at him.
Dang, it's getting physical.
The helmet nearly hit multiple people, and both teams cleared their bench. It was like the end of an action movie. The two main characters fought separately to the band of armies. They swung wildly at each other. We never really got to see the boxing match, so we're still waiting on the pay-per-view. Steve Smith versus Malcolm Jenkins. Steve Smith will be known for two things: the best little guy in the NFL and an obnoxiously awesome trash talker. You don't spit as much as Smith and not get into your fair share of fights. First, Steve Smith
I'll probably do it for now. And then... yeah. Anyway guys, I have an announcement to make. I'm making the second channel. I'll leave the link in the description down below. But it's gonna be called Walk Dog Gaming / Reacting. This is gonna go on my main channel so y'all can see it. But if you're watching this right now, then this video obviously launched already. But I'm making a second channel. I'm gonna upload the gaming and reaction. And then,